Okay, sweet. I'm gonna scoot back here. As you know, we've been studying the Yoga Sutras. Oh yeah, I was gonna put in the playlist in the chat box if you would like to use it. Okay, playlist is in the chat box. I can't put it in there early because otherwise it doesn't show up. I have to put it in once everyone is there. So we've been studying the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, translation and commentary by Sri Swami Satchidananda. And it is a slow progress, making our way through these. There's some sutras in here that I think are really awesome. And there's some sutras in here where I'm like, all right, let's go on to the next one. But we're gonna just keep getting through. And the one that we're on is very much connected to at least like the three before and the two after. So I'm gonna read the sixth sutra and then move on from there. There are 5 kinds of mental modifications, which are either painful or painless. And these vrittis, or thought waves, or fluctuations of the mind, are pramana, which is reliable authority, viparyaya, misconception or incorrect knowledge, and then vikalpa. And so we are on the one that talks about vikalpa, which is the 9th one. And to break it down, somebody told me that they have a translation of this on the library and they read it in Sanskrit. So I'm going to find that so I can really make sure that I'm saying this correctly. But right now I'm using the Sanskrit guide. And the first word is shubda, and that word means word and sound. And then jnana, which means knowledge, here based on words. Unupati, arises. Vashtu, reality. Shunyaha, without any, and vikalpaha is a verbal delusion. An image that arises on hearing mere words without any reality is verbal delusion. You can hear something, but really there is nothing like that. In viparyaya, misconception, at least there is a rope to be mistaken for a snake. But in vikalpa, there's nothing there, yet you still create some opinion about it. It's verbal delusion, but it may still create an impression in your mind. And this honestly reminds me of fake news. And also it reminds me of the game of telephone. I used to play that, like, I don't know, when I was in group settings when I was little, and like someone would say a word and then it would get passed around the room. And by the end, it was usually like some inappropriate phrase. And that's also kind of verbal delusion. Like it starts as one thing and then it starts to transform or, so I like that he's just laying out the different kinds of modifications that can exist in your mind and letting you know that, yeah, there's going to be information out there that you should definitely be skeptical of. So that's that one. And let's go ahead and get into our practice. Finding a comfortable seat, anchor the tailbone down, and really feel the points of contact between your glutes and the space that you're sitting on. Let it feel grounded and into the earth. And then the complementary oppositional action is the spine. It's springing up and the shoulders relaxing down. So you have a sense of rootedness and a sense of upward lift. And we'll start class with 1 Om. You can keep the eyes open or shut them down. First, we'll take a couple clearing breaths. Inhale in through the nose. And exhale, HA. Inhale in through the nose. And exhale, HA, release. This time, inhale, prepare for 1 Om. Om. Inhale in. And exhale, release. And we'll go ahead and start class in Balasana, child's pose. You can always choose to start on your back if you prefer that. I know sometimes I prefer that. But for child's pose, bringing the toes to touch. Knees can be together, arms can be at your side, or knees can be open, extended, and arms can be long out in front of you. You can also choose to make the forearms like a little nesting place for your face. and arriving. And the intention at the beginning of class is to arrive and also to acknowledge transition and to feel like you have the space and security to be grounded in your practice for the next hour. And my practice, just like yours, has been a home practice lately. And I know that it's harder for me to practice at home. Like there's people walking around and there's distractions in terms of sounds, and your cat might decide that right under your belly is the best place to lay, or the dog might bark at a bird or something. So I want to acknowledge that, like, that's not something that maybe was a part of your practice before, and it adds an additional layer because you have to teach yourself to refocus and return back to your space. And so just acknowledging it, because I think resisting it makes it even more of a challenge. So just being there with it and allowing those experiences to pop up, knowing they're going to happen. But your practice will be here, and I'm here, and also everyone else that's participating today in this class. And then after taking in kind of the physical, moving to the awareness of your breath. Feeling the intake of oxygen through the nostrils, filling up the lungs, expanding the diaphragm. And then the exhale, the release, the concaving of the belly, and going back out as CO2. And maybe you have a window open, maybe you can see the trees outside. It takes in the CO2, releases it back. And even houseplants will do that. So this interplay between us and the environment. And then after we focus on the breath, arriving at the mind. And the beginning part of the sutras, have never read the book this closely and this in depth. It is so focused at the beginning about the thought waves and our minds. And I think it's because, at least for me, I think I lived like a high percentage of my life kind of just like in my head. And a lot of us do, and sometimes just seeps down into the shoulders, and we're not connected to the rest of the body. And part of what yoga is teaching us to do is embody the entirety of yourself, the toes, the shoulders, the hips, to listen to what's going on in there and to feel it, feel the emotions that might be tied up in different tissues or compartments in the body, and to be with this sense of awareness and knowing that you don't have to attach to what the mind thinks. Like, what could be more liberating than that? It's a huge relief, and it's also a big responsibility, arriving at that sense of realization. And giving yourself permission to not uphold any identity for this practice, and just to be here with the self that existed in you when you were a kid. It's going to be the same you when you're 95. And acknowledging this self that doesn't have to be anything more than it already is. And I still like to leave room for consent, and consent has changed to self-consent. So if the body asks for a modification, we kind of already talked about embodiment, listen to it. Push up against edges where you need to break through them, but respect them where the boundaries are being put, never pushing up against pain. And we'll now engage the Ujjayi breath, upward, conquering, victorious breath. Inhale in through the nose. And exhale, HA out of the mouth. Inhale in through the nose. And exhale, HA. Inhale in through the nose. And this time, exhale out of the nose. And it is an audible breath, and it is a conscious breath, lengthening the amount of time we spend inhaling and exhaling. And it's often called an oceanic breath. And when I heard that, I was always like, oh, it's like, I was such a drama queen when I first started practicing yoga. I was like, oh, these yogis, they like think it sounds like the ocean. That's whack. I'm not going to do this thing. Like, I just straight up rejected the Ujjayi breath when I first heard about it.
And you all have been practicing yoga for a while, so I know that you'll have like a practice with the Ujjayi breath, but acknowledging that it is a different kind of breathing sensation we're accessing. It is atypical, but it is part of this practice. And so if there's any point where you want to come back to child's pose and just breathe, you are more than welcome to do that at any point throughout class. And actually in the book that we're reading, the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, there is no like asana. They describe it as the preparation to sit. There's no poses really listed in the book except for the preparation to sit for meditation. So knowing that the breath is talked about. So that is a practice of the yoga that we are participating in. And then gently over the next few breaths, coming up into a tabletop, stacking the shoulders over the wrists, hips over knees, finding a sense of spinal neutrality, crown of the head forward, tailbone is back. And for cat and cow today, I invite you to try on a different layer. And I'm gonna give out a few options. So the other day I tried crossing my left leg behind my right leg during cat-cow just to kind of switch it up, kind of activate the hips. So noticing what this is like. Inhale, cow pose, drop the belly, lift the gaze. And exhale, cat pose, press the palms into the mat, round the spine, tuck the chin. Inhale, cow pose, send the tail up, the chin up, the collarbones up. And exhale, cat pose, press round, dome and tuck. And come back to neutral, switch the legs out. So this time, right leg comes behind the left. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cats. You can undo the legs. And if you haven't already started the playlist, you are more than welcome to start it now. I've found that I'm actually pretty attached to having music while I teach. And I know our practice is about non-attachment, but can't get too picky. So if you want to do the music, for me, it invites a sense of like calm and soothing. So whatever is going to be best for you, maybe silence is better for you today in your practice. And finding your Ujjayi breath, inhale in through the nose. And exhale out through the nose. Extend the left leg behind you. And then take a moment to find balance in the hips. Where is the pelvis? And it doesn't have to be a perfect flat station on top of your back, but just noticing if one hip is up a little bit higher than the other. And it's okay if the left leg, if you want to have it super active and lifted, like that's okay. But just noticing if you decided that or if the body just kind of went there. Inhale. And exhale. Knee to nose, round in. Inhale, reach, extend the leg behind. Exhale, round in. Inhale, reach, extend, pause. And extend the right arm out. And it might take a second to calibrate. We are balancing, and this is challenging. And we'll do a couple rounding ins on this side. Inhale, reach, extend. And exhale, knee to nose, rounding in, curving. Inhale, reach, extend. And exhale, tuck and round. Inhale, reach, extend. And exhale, plant the right palm down, plant the left knee down. And maybe kind of shake that off. And we'll do the other side. Extend the right leg behind this time. Noticing where the hips have fallen. If the leg is activated a little higher, if it's more neutral on horizontal plane. Inhale, reach, extend the leg behind, maybe even point the toes. And exhale, round and tuck. Bringing maybe forehead all the way to the knee. Doesn't have to get all the way there. Inhale, reach, extend. Exhale, round and tuck. Inhale, reach, extend. Exhale, round and tuck. Inhale, reach, extend, pause. Extend the left arm out long in front of you. And taking a moment to find equilibrium here too. It's a lot harder to balance like this than it is on all fours. Extending the fingertips, the toes, and the exhale, round. Inhale, reach, extend. And exhale, round and tuck. Bring elbow to knee, maybe wobbling, that's okay. Inhale, reach, extend. And last time, round and tuck. Inhale, reach, extend. And exhale, come to all fours. Wiggle, shake that off. Inhale, tuck under your toes. And exhale, come back to downward facing dog. Setting the hips high and the heels low. And this is the first down dog of class. So if you want to paddle out the dog, and one knee, the other knee, maybe linger on left side, right side. Waking up the muscles, feeling the belly of the muscles. Whenever I say that, I always picture also like the belly of a fish, and then I kind of feel like that's my calf muscle, like that's kind of the sensation you might be going for. And then sending some awareness into the palms of your hands, actively pressing each knuckle mound into the mat. Inhale, come on the tippy toes. And exhale, bend your knees a lot so tailbone is high and you're actively pressing the palms into the mat. You can feel the vertebrae lengthening and the tailbone high up towards the ceiling. And I do this every class because it might just be me, but I kind of forget the sensation of what it feels like to press the palms into the mat and the active lengthening. And this way I'm kind of waking it up, reminding myself this is what I want to feel in my down dog. And you can slowly release the heels down, working to straighten the legs, but trying to keep that lengthening sensation in the vertebrae. Inhale, look to the front. And exhale, walk there for ragdoll forward fold. Feet are hips width distance. And you can grasp for opposite elbows here. Or if you want to add a little bit more weight into the fold, you can interweave the fingers at the nape of the neck. And really invite a bending into the knees so the chest just spills right over the legs. Feeling the weight of gravity anchoring you down. And something Emily often says during class is, the ground's got you, the earth's got you, and also you've got you, and you do. You've got you in this practice. Slowly release any grip that you've chosen. And toe heel the feet to touch or thereabouts. Sometimes it's actually nice to have a little distance in between the feet because it helps create more of a grounding sensation in the practice. And vertebrae by vertebrae unfurl the spine, moving with intention and deliberately. Arriving at Samastiti. Same or equal on all side standing posture. Pick the toes up, fan them out, plant them back down. Feeling all four corners of your feet. And then trying to access where the central axis is in your body. And it is a subtle orbit. It's not going to be as much of an orbit as the moon around the earth, but it is there. A slight sway of the body as it finds balance. And then it does it again and again, and it calibrates. And this idea of samastiti, it actually is with us throughout our whole practice. We're always trying to find equilibrium. We're really energetically finding it now. And at this point in class, I always leave space for intention. And your intention can be to be at attention throughout practice. Or maybe there's a mantra you've been working with. There's a slew of mantras that I've learned from different yoga teachers, a lot of them from Emily and Rachel Savage. Maybe right now it's like this, or perhaps you're attracting something into your life and you want to state it in the present tense. I am, or I have. Inhale, breathe that in. Exhale, release it out. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms up. And you can keep the eyes closed. Sometimes I actually really like to have more of an interior practice, or you can flutter the eyes open. But taking a moment to notice what the body is doing. So actively, it's pressing the feet into the mat. You might feel the arches of your feet activate.
engage the legs. You can also engage the bandhas, Uddiyana and Mula Bandha, which is contraction of the pelvic floor, and Uddiyana Bandha, bringing the belly button back towards the ribs, creates these locks and seals. It's really easy for me to forget about the bandhas during practice. This is one point where I can remember to access it and then maybe bring it back during different poses throughout class. Relaxing the shoulders. Inhale here. And exhale, cactus the arms, baby back bend, shine the sternum up, tilt the head back. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold, hinge at the hips, dive down. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the vertebrae, option have a bend in the knees. Exhale, press back, top of a push-up, Dandasana, staff pose. Pause here and breathe. Really actively pressing the palms into the mat. Always option to bring the knees down, or always option to come onto the forearms, more of a forearm plank. Inhale, one breath here. And exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. Flatten the tops of the feet to the mat. And before we get into our cobra pose, we're gonna practice crocodile on each side. Extend the right arm out like half of a T. Bring the right cheek to the mat. Place the left arm by your armpit or shoulder, and then kick the left leg behind you. So you're rolling onto the outside edge, the right side of your body. An option to keep the arm extended like this, or option if you want to bend the elbow. And for me, when I bend the elbow, it's like significantly more of a sensation. So maybe that's too much right now. Maybe you just want to stay in crocodile. That is enough of a shoulder opening this early in the day. And bring the belly back down on the earth. Extend the left arm out, switch sides, bring the left cheek to the mat. Right palm is underneath the armpit. And then kick the right leg behind you so you're rolling on the outside edge of the left side of your body. And taking a moment to observe the range of motion in the shoulder. And I say this a lot, but the hips and the shoulders are ball and socket joints. So they have a huge range of motion, and there's a ton of muscles that thread in and out of the bones that surround those joints. And we're accessing that and asking our body to pay attention to that right now. And flatten the belly back down to the earth. Bring the arms by your sides. Getting ready for cobra pose. And I often say zip the legs together like you have one long cobra tail. And I think I kind of like the imagery of that. But also, like, the legs actually don't have to be really zipped up together. They can just be kind of wherever they fall on the ground. Inhale, cobra pose. Lift the head, neck, and chest, pressing the tops of the feet into the mat, tops of the thighs, pressing the pelvis. Chest lifts. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Lift the head, neck, and chest, little to no weight in the hands. And exhale, release back down. Last time, inhale, cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Lift the head, neck, and chest. And exhale, release back down. Inhale, come back to tabletop. And exhale, press back, down dog, hips high, heels low. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, HA. Inhale, in through the nose. Exhale, out through the nose. Inhale, look to the front. Exhale, walk, jump, float, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, reset the spine, lengthen the vertebrae. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms up pose. Exhale, cactus the arms, baby back bend. Broaden through the clavicle, which is also the collarbone. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold, hinge at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, reset the spine. Exhale, top of a push-up, Dandasana, staff pose. Pause here. Again, always option to come down to the knees. I'm going to cue us through just a traditional chaturanga vinyasa flow, and you can go ahead and try that on. Switch it up after if you want. Remember, it doesn't have to be the same as you did last week either. It's always changing. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, pressing the tops of the feet into the mat.
Legs are lifted, engaged, heart is shining up. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. Coming back to the breath. Coming back to focusing on scanning the body. Noticing. They say yoga begins with listening, and it totally does. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. Inhale, look to the front. Exhale, move there, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, reset your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Ardha Hastasana, rise with your breath, arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms, baby back bend. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold, hinge at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the vertebrae. Exhale, top of a push-up, Dandasana, staff pose. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down halfway. Inhale, up dog, cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. And I know everyone here has a regular practice. You already know that you have the power to choose how you want to practice your version of up to your version of down. I'm likely going to skip the rest of chaturangas throughout class. You are welcome to do any version, coming down to the knees, cobra for down dog. You can hang out in forearm plank, whatever is going to suit your practice today. Listening to your body as your best guide. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. Inhale, look to the front of the mat. Exhale, move there. Walk, jump, skip, float. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, fierce pose, awkward chair. And breathe, plugging the weight into your heels, sinking the weight into your hips. The tail can flare here. This is a gentle back bend, the chest lifts. Arms can be out in front of you. Maybe you want the arms behind you today. Maybe you want the hands at heart center. Sternum is lifting. And this pose it's hard and it's uncomfortable, and I have a lot of resistance to the challenge. Our brain tends to want to help us conserve energy. So she's like, oh my God, get out of this posture, like save your energy, the world's ending. But your body's like, no, I'm fine. We're gonna get through this. And so it's kind of a dialogue going on between the nervous system and everybody looking out for each other. So breathing into the intensity, just being with it. Inhale here. Exhale, release, forward fold. I don't know why my brain has that voice. Maybe I'll switch that up next time. Inhale, halfway lift, reset. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. And coming back to the breath. And remembering, I think part of the reason so many people love yoga is because you really are on your own process, and you can arrive at where you want to be, or just be where you are the whole way through the process. But also you are surrounded by a community, and there's people that you practice with that are also working on their path. So remembering, even though we are in separate spaces, it's undeniable, we are still practicing together, even if it's virtually. This is a community practice still. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. Inhale, right leg lifts. Reach, extend the right leg behind you. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrist, chest to chin. Inhale, right leg lifts. Pause. I'm going to do something a little unusual, and I'm going to totally regret this once I start doing it, but I think it's going to be kind of fun, hopefully. We are actually going to, with our left leg, bounce up to meet our hands. And you can choose to just not do this if you want, but I'm going to bend my left knee and then kind of hop my way up to meet my hands and plant both feet down on the mat. And then vertebrae My vertebrae, unfurl your spine and come to standing. And rooting into the right leg. We're going to use that as our base. We're on the right side. We're going to practice tree pose. And for tree pose, you can bring the leg into the inside seam of your right leg. It can hang out down kind of low, or you can have it a little bit higher up on the thigh. Ooh, and you might kind of fall out of balance. That's okay. I haven't done a lot of balancing in it. It shows in my practice. So if you fall out, you can come back in. And after you have arrived, and you find neutrality in your body, choosing how you'd like to do the arms. I know some people like to grow branches. You can also bring the hands to heart center. And this is one of my favorite opportunities to practice proprioception. And close the right eye, keep the left eye open. Close the left eye, keep the right eye open. And the eye that you keep open, try to focus it on one thing out in front of you. And then if you're feeling really brave, really trying to feel the point of contact between your thumbs and your heart. That's the focus. Shut down both eyes. Woo! Wobbles come right in, and I did not have it at all. So it's a practice. There was a while I was doing this a lot, and I had more of a sense of equilibrium. But knowing that this really is proprioception and strengthening it right here. And you can release the left leg down. Woo! Okay, inhale, one-legged Tadasana. Arms up, left leg lifts. And exhale, plant the palms, frame the front foot, send the left leg back, low lunge. Right leg is forward. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, arms up, chest lifts. And pausing here, it's the first time we've been here. You might have to create a little bit more distance in between your feet. And I never want to micromanage your practice, like just be here, arrive. I always like to leave space though, like I know sometimes when I arrive in a posture, I've done a lot, I'm kind of just like, boop, I'm there, whatever. But if I send awareness into it, I'm like, oh, I could actively send my left heel forward, and immediately this activates the top of my back thigh, and I'm distributing the weight more evenly in my legs. So if that's something you want to invite into your practice, do it. You can tap into the bandhas here as well. Inhale here. And exhale, sweep the arms behind you. Inhale, come back to crescent lunge. And exhale, open up, warrior two, Virabhadrasana, spin the back heel down 40, 60 degrees. Right knee is tracking towards the outside edge of your pinky toe, and this is a fierce posture. It's powerful. You may be trying to access the archetypes that embody those descriptors for you in your life. It could be a figure from pop culture. It could be an icon or an archetype from tarot, whatever it is, accessing that, inviting it in. Inhale, straighten the front leg and bring the palms to touch overhead, high pyramid. And exhale, pivot the toes and parallel your feet, but keep the chest lifted. Inhale, open up the arms into an X shape. And exhale, come into a goddess. Bend your knees, cactus your arms, and you can make sure the knees are gliding over the ankles, kind of swaying the body right to left. And then bringing both hands into the inside seam of your thighs. We're going to practice a little bit of left and right action. So inhale, find length in the spine. And exhale, press the right hand into the inside seam of your right thigh and twist the chest towards the left. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, press the left palm and twist towards the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, press the right palm, twist left. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, press the left palm, twist right. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, twist right, press the right palm. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, release, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. And bring the hands into the hips. And slowly lift the chest up. Inhale, high pyramid, palms touch. Pivot the front toes to the front of your mat. And exhale, come back to warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior, peaceful warrior. Left arm down, right arm up, stretching through the side body. The obliques keeping a deep bend in the front knee, feeling the floating ribs peel away from the iliac crest, the top of your hips. And exhale, cartwheel the arms. And flow your version of high to low. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale, Ujjayi. And exhale, Ujjayi. Inhale, Ujjayi. And exhale, Ujjayi. And notice how the mind is thinking, if it's planning, if it's narrating, what's the tone of the narration, and then whatever it's doing, not judging yourself for what it's doing, but just noticing it and then coming back to the practice. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. Inhale, left leg lifts. Reach, extend the left leg behind you. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrists, chest to chin. Inhale, left leg lifts. Pause. And we're going to do that same hopping thing up to meet our hands. You don't have to do this, but it does add kind of another layer of play. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be light. It can be. Go ahead and bend the right knee and then hop your way up to meet your hands. Left foot comes down to meet the right. And vertebrae by vertebrae, unfurl your spine and come to Samasthiti. And then we'll work into tree on this side. So rooting down through the left leg and bringing the right leg into the inside seam of your left leg. You can hang out kind of down low. Maybe you want to move it up a little higher, but just avoiding the knee because the knee is a hinge joint, so it doesn't want to go side to side. It just wants to go up and down. And maybe you grow branches, bring the arms up. Maybe you bring the hands to heart center, and we'll do that balance challenge on this side as well. And finding a point of focus, it's often called a drishti. So where do you want to send your awareness? Right now I'm using the point of contact between my thumb and the heart. I'm going to shut down one eye, the left eye. I'm going to shut down the right eye. And challenge yourself again. Shut down both eyes. Maybe this side is more of a challenge. Maybe this side is more at ease. You're more able to find equilibrium. And maybe it has less to do with the legs and more with the mind. Are you practicing on the other side? I'm not judging the experience, how it's playing out. And go ahead and release. Plant the foot back down. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana, right leg lifts, arms up. Exhale, plant the palms, frame your front foot, right leg goes back so your left leg is forward. Taking a moment to feel your foundation here. Inhale, crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana, arms up, chest lifts. And finding homeostasis here, finding balance, acknowledging this is difficult. Accessing the arch in the back of your foot. Maybe picking up the toes in the front foot, planting them back down. Relaxing the shoulders here. You can even look up if the neck allows the gaze to look up. This even can be a gentle back bend. Inhale here. Exhale, sweep the arms behind you. Press the chest forward. Inhale, crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana, arms up. Exhale, open up, warrior two, Virabhadrasana. Spin the back heel down 40-60 degrees. Broadening through the collarbones and letting that sensation of broadening and opening come all the way out through your arms as well. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. Inhale, pyramid. Straighten the front legs, palms touch. And exhale, pivot the toes, parallel your feet. And I'm going to go ahead and face you. And on this side, we're going to flow with hands high up overhead. And instead of cactusing the arms for goddess, keeping the palms to touch. I've heard that called horse before. Inhale. And exhale, bend the knees. Bring the palms to touch at heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend the knees, bring the palms to touch the heart center, and really pausing here, trying to trace the awareness of the palms again. So from heart to above the head. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to heart center. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, hands to heart center, bend the knees. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, bend the knees, palms to heart center. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, release the arms at your side. Inhale, high pyramid, palms to touch. Pivot the left toes towards the front of your mat. And exhale, open up, warrior two, Virabhadrasana. Might have to adjust where the feet are on your mat. Inhale, reverse warrior, peaceful warrior. Right arm up, and or right arm down, left arm up. Stretching through the side body, sinking the weight deep into the front lunge. The body is absolutely all connected. You can think of it as a wetsuit. So when we stretch back, the leg tends to want to lift, but sinking the weight back down. Inhale here. And exhale, cartwheel your arms. And flow your version of high to low. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. And giving yourself a wave of appreciation for showing up doing this practice. It takes a lot of courageousness to show up and do a physical practice, but yoga adds a whole nother level of examination and inquiry into the practice. So I think that kind of practice takes a lot of bravery and courageousness. So honoring yourself for doing that kind of work as well. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. Inhale, look to the front. Exhale, move there. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, reset your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, fierce pose, awkward chair, sink joint your hips and your heels. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, find length in the spine. Exhale, prayer twist towards the right, left elbow outside of right knee. Really actively pressing the palms here. And when I press my palms, it increases the leverage, the point of contact I have with my elbow on the outside edge of my leg. Right ribs roll over, left ribs under. Inhale here. Exhale, release. Forward fold. And in between, we'll take Pada Gustasana. If you prefer Pada Hastasana, you're welcome to practice that. For Pada Gustasana, it's peace fingers around the big toe. Bend the knees a lot. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, round and fold. And pull with the arms. And for years on this practice, I used to, when I pulled, I would pull my arms out, which there's nothing wrong with. But then I also one day kind of tried more chaturanga pull. And I don't know, just deciding which one you want to do. Having it be intentional is the point I wanted to make, not the one is better than the other. And you can release that, let it go. And if you practice with feet closer together, toe heeling them back for chair pose. Inhale, halfway lift, reset. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, fierce pose, arms up, heart lifts. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, find length in the spine. Exhale, prayer twist towards the left, right elbow outside of left knee. Pressing the palms, using that point of contact to leverage your twist. And this could be a point in class where you use your own hands to deepen the twist. You could bring them to your torso and then just feel like when I do that, I actually twist more. And I thought that I was like totally twisted as much as I could, but by sending awareness to my whole chest, I was able to revolve more. So not necessary, but might be interesting for you. Inhale here. And exhale, release. Let that go. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale in through the nose. And exhale, lion's breath, HA. Tongue out, tongue out. Inhale in through the nose. And exhale, HA. Seal the lips, inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Inhale, right leg lifts. Reach, extend the right leg behind you. And pause. We're gonna go ahead and hop up to our hands. Coming back to a normal rhythm of breath, but hopping with the left foot up to meet your hands. Left foot comes back down by the right. Inhale, halfway lift, reset. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up to Samasthiti. Coming back to a regular rhythm in your breath. We'll go into the balancing series. Rooting through your right leg. Bring the left foot into the inside seam of your right, practicing tree. Can be kind of down low, or maybe you want to bring it up high. Taking a moment to calibrate, to find Samasthiti in this form. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana. Left leg lifts, arms up. If you had a touchdown to get back up here, that's okay. Calibrating, feeling the strength you're building in your right ankle. Inhale here. Exhale, plant the palms, frame your front foot, send the left leg back. Grounding, feeling rooted. Inhale, crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana, arms up, chest lifts. Exhale, open up, warrior two, Virabhadrasana. Inhale, straighten the front leg, palms touch, high pyramid. Exhale, parallel the feet, pivot the toes. Inhale, become an X with the body, extend your limbs. Exhale, bend your knees. Bring the palms into the inside seams of your legs and make sure the knees are gliding over your ankles. Inhale, find length in the spine. Exhale, twist your body towards the left, right palm presses. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist towards the right, pressing the left palm. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist right, or left, sorry. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist towards the right, pressing left palm. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, straighten your legs, lift your chest. Inhale, palms touch, high pyramid. Exhale, pivot to the front, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior, peaceful warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your arms and flow your version of high to low. Then we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. Inhale, left leg lifts. Reach, extend the left leg behind you. Pause and set up your experience to hop the right foot forward. Bend the right knee. It can be a bunch of tiny hops or maybe a couple of big ones. And make your way to the front. Inhale, halfway lift, reset the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Samasthiti, unfurl the spine. And we're on the left side now. So rooting into the left foot, plugging that heel into the earth. Bring the right foot to the inside seam of your left side body. Maybe hanging out kind of low, maybe coming up a little bit higher. And choosing the arm variation. And acknowledging that this side might be different than the other side. It may be more of a challenge to balance here. We've been using the ankle strength a lot. You may be fatigued after all of this practice. So just acknowledging this experience could be different than even the last time and not comparing the experiences, just letting this one be its own thing. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana, right leg lifts, arms up. And exhale, plant the palms, frame the front foot, send the right leg back. Coming into low lunge. Feeling grounded here. Inhale, crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana, arms up, chest lifts. Exhale, open up, warrior two, Virabhadrasana. Inhale, high pyramid, straighten the front leg, palms touch. Exhale, parallel your feet. And pivot your toes, keeping the chest lifted. And palms touching. Inhale, find length. And exhale, bend the knees, hands to heart center, horse. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center, bend the knees. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, release the arms at your sides. Inhale, high pyramid, palms touch. Exhale, warrior two towards the front, just the feet as needed. Inhale, reverse warrior, peaceful warrior, right arm down, left arm up. Exhale, cartwheel your arms and flow your version of high to low. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. Noticing the fluctuations of the mind. And the mind thinks like that's what it does. So not judging yourself for having your mind do its job, but noticing what it's doing and what kind of attention you're getting giving certain things. We're gonna flow that one more time each side, but I am gonna cut out a few things. So keep your ears open. Inhale, look to the front. Exhale, move there, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, reset the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, fierce pose, awkward chair. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, reset your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. Inhale, right leg lifts. Reach, extend the right leg behind you. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrist, chest to chin. Inhale, right leg lifts. Reach, extend. And pause. We're going to do the hopping with the left foot. So hop the left foot, bend the knee. So left leg comes to meet the right. Rooting through the base, which is your left foot. And coming into Samasthiti, unfurl the spine. We'll come into tree pose. So plugging through the left foot, bringing the right foot to inside seam of the left leg. Finding balance here. Bringing the hands to heart center, growing branches. Practicing balance. Strengthening the left ankle. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana, right leg lifts, arms up. Different. Option to be here, option to take figure four, right ankle on top of left thigh. Bringing the palms to touch at heart center. Very similar to Utkatasana, the knees are bent, the tail is flaring, the chest is lifting. Inhale here. Exhale here. So option to hang out here as well. And this is a totally unnecessary twist. So you don't have to try on this layer, but if you want to try it on, now is a good time to bring your right elbow on top of the right foot. And when I say that, I laugh at myself. I'm like, why? Why would I tell them to do that? Why am I doing this? But if you want to go ahead and give this a whirl, bringing the right elbow to the right foot and twisting here. Oh my gosh, you might fall like me, and that's okay. Falling is part of the practice. You can get back up, get back into it. Okay, and let's come back to one-legged Tadasana. And arms up, right leg lifts. Exhale, plant the palms, send the right leg back. Inhale, crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana, arms up, chest lifts. Exhale, open up, warrior two, Virabhadrasana. Inhale, reverse warrior, peaceful warrior. Right arm down, left arm up. Exhale, cartwheel the arms and flow your version of high to low. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Again, always option to skip. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. Inhale, left leg lifts. Reach, extend the left leg behind you. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrist, chest to chin. Inhale, left leg lifts. Pause, and we're gonna hop the right foot up. So bend the right knee and make your way up to a forward fold. Vertebrae by vertebrae, unfurl the spine. Come to Samasthiti. Relax the shoulders down. And plug the left foot into the ground this time. We're on the left side. Bringing the right foot into the inside seam of the left leg. And arriving in your tree stance. Balancing. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana, right leg lifts, arms up. Option to be here, or option to take figure four. Right ankle on top of left thigh, hands to heart center, very similar to chair pose. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana, right leg lifts. Exhale, plant the palms, frame your front foot. Inhale, crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana, arms up, chest lifts. Exhale, open up, warrior two, Virabhadrasana. Inhale, reverse warrior, peaceful warrior. And exhale, cartwheel the arms. And flow your version of high to low. Last time. And you can sink the knees down to the mat. Coming into tabletop. And then let the hips fall to one side. We'll seal clasp with a forward fold and a twist. Meeting in Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet to touch. Moving the glutes out from under the sits bones. So the pelvic bowl can tilt down. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, fold forward. And I invite you today to have a little more distance in between the heels and the pelvis. And to let the spine round. Tapping into the more energetic qualities of yin. There was a lot of yang in that practice, so just being receptive. Letting the muscles become passive and allowing the experience to just be as it is. And vertebrae by vertebrae, unfurl your spine. And come to laying on your back. Send the left leg out long and hug the right knee in towards your chest. Oscillate the ankle if you'd like to, turning it right, turning it left. Gentle supine twist with the left arm, guide the right leg towards the left, right arm out like half of a T. Gaze can be up or can be towards your right fingertips. Relaxing your forehead, letting the jaw slacken, and releasing any residual anxiety. And sometimes I think that's a hard thing to do. And so I've just been offering this. I don't know if it resonates with anyone else, but you can kind of just flick it off, flick it with your fingers. And then come back to center, hug the right knee in, send the right leg out long, and hug the left knee in towards your chest. Give that a squeeze. Roll the ankle towards the right, roll the ankle towards the left. Gentle supine twist with the right arm, guide the left leg, cast your left arm out like half of a T. Gentle supine twist, gaze can be up, can be towards your fingers. And relinquishing any need to fix or change something. Just letting yourself be here right now. letting in the distractions. They're a part of it too. And bring the knee back towards center. Bring both knees back towards center. And we'll close class with Apanasana. And Apana means to offload. But before we release into Shavasana, you want to give yourself one last final embrace, wrapping the arms around the shins. And maybe embracing a quality that you were invited in, or just embracing yourself, just all of it. You know, we all have these darker shadowy parts of ourselves, but there's also the light parts, and it's all there, and it's all valid. Inhale here, and exhale, release into Shavasana, final rest. Arms at your sides. You can always rest on your belly or legs at the wall or whatever is going to be suitable for you in your practice. And we'll be here for a couple minutes. And I'll let you know when it's time to come up and out of the practice. And you can invite subtle movements back into the extremities, the fingers, the toes. Gentle bouncing. And extend the arms above you like you would stretching in the morning. Bring the knees towards your chest and choose if you'd like to roll over onto the right or the left side. And I usually give the option, like left is more lunar, right is more solar. And I do that because we are often trying to balance out our lives. And so maybe you need to be more introspective and intuitive. Roll to the left. Or maybe you're like, oh my God, I have to do this big thing after this. I'm going to roll towards my right. And even if you don't feel like there is a left and a right side and then these qualities reside there, you're still making the choice to invite that in. And so it is making a difference, even if it's very subtle. And just because it's subtle doesn't mean it's nothing. Nothing and subtle are very different. And Emily must be super in my head this morning, but she also always says just because it's aggressive doesn't mean it's effective. So it never has to be aggressive to be effective. And honoring yourself, just like we did during class, for showing up and doing this practice, for trying on all the layers, the physical and the mental, and doing the discipline of this practice and observing the fluctuations of the mind, the thoughts, they come to the surface and you notice them and then they fall away and then new ones take its place. And being the witness to all those things, knowing that you don't have to identify with what the mind thinks. Honoring the lineage of this practice going back to India and honoring the territory that we occupy, the Duwamish people. You can gently press yourself up to a seat and keep the eyes closed or have them open, and we'll meet with hands at heart center. This gesture in yoga represents non-dualism. It's Anjali Mudra. And then just like in tree, where we feel the point of contact between the thumb and the heart, honoring the wisdom that resides in the hearts and bringing that wisdom to meet third eye, where we find intuition and imagination, threading those two centers together and bowing forward to seal in your practice, honoring the whole self, peace, and thank you. Namaste. Thank you. I mean that. I really appreciate you all being here. I'm familiar with all of you, and you're all radical beings. So thank you for being here. And I'm going to unplug. I'm going to unmute. Let's see. Boop. Okay. And I don't know if everybody wants to be in the cam. So I am going to stop the recording just because then it ends up on YouTube if I upload it. So I'm going to stop it.